I went from this to this in less than a year. Hello, I'm CopperCarver, and if you're trying to build a gaming setup and don't even know where to start, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of gaming setups. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or just getting started, the idea of building a gaming setup can be extremely intimidating, and the whole process can be extremely challenging, especially if you don't even know where to start. And because of that, I decided to make this video, first of all, so hopefully y'all can create something to give y'all as much joy as my setup has given me. But because, like I said before, we sometimes don't even know where to start. I watched so many different YouTube videos myself. I Googled things to try to figure out where do I even start. And honestly, there's a lot of good videos out there, but I felt like, you know what, maybe I can kind of toss in my 2 cents. You know, this is the first setup I've ever built in my life, and I'm really proud of what I did. And I'd like to go through the process of, you know, kind of how I started and go from there. So I put together a couple chapters, and honestly, you can kind of skip through the different chapters depending on what you need to focus on. But for the most part, I put it in order of the order that I believe you should go through. It's strictly my opinion. You can go through whatever order that you want to. Here's a quick overview of what we'll be covering. Each chapter plays a very crucial role to putting your setup together. We'll start by discussing the benefits to having a dedicated setup. We'll dive into the details of selecting the right desk, your area that you're even going to put your setup in, talk about the layout, adding your personal touch, and enhancing everything with RGBs if that's your style. So let's get started with the why. I would first start off with asking yourself why you want to set up. To be honest, I didn't even build a setup until I was 32. I had a couch and a TV, and I was content with that. I mean, I kind of needed the best gaming system, the console at the time, and the best TV, but outside of that, I was happy with that. My entire life, I've been happy with that. But after I moved, the availability came to where I could start something new. And that's kind of why I decided that, okay, this is the time. Whenever I started research on, okay, you know, besides looking cool, are there other ways that, you know, having your own setup can benefit you? And so going over some of the benefits to your own gaming setup, or what I should even say, your own area, is enhanced focus. What do I mean by enhanced focus? I don't mean, oh, your surroundings around you gives you energy to focus more. No. What I'm saying is a lot of us gamers that don't have our own dedicated setup, a lot of times are sharing space. Us couch players, a lot of times it can be in the living room where people are moving around, they're possibly cooking, doing the dishes. It's just more of a distraction. And I can tell you right now, whenever I know that I'm not as focused and I'm going to be distracted more, there's some games that I purposely do not play. You know, a couple games that I'm really worried about my kill-death ratio, maybe Apex Legends, a little bit of Battlefield, you know, different things like that. So first of all, having your own dedicated setup that is hopefully removed from those distractions will help give you that focus. So one benefit you could say is it'll help your kill-death ratio. Enhanced atmosphere and ambience. You know, I can probably tell you that that's been one of the biggest benefits to creating a setup. The atmosphere in my setup, I made sure to create something that is pleasurable to me. The lighting, the color palettes, the greenery that I have, you know, it's kind of your zen. Like, this is my area. And just what it does for you is it helps create that escape for you even more. Personalization is, honestly, in my opinion, one of the things that actually makes it yours. There's so many people I know that have so many cool collectibles or old video game cases that they don't know what to do with. And this is your area to do whatever the heck you want to with. I've seen so many cool setups with, Gundam figures and lots of more cool stuff. So this is your area that's literally yours. Personalize it as much as you want. There's so many benefits and more than just the ones that I named. But essentially it just comes down to it's your area. You need this area. This is your escape. But that's enough about me rambling why you need your own gaming setup. To be honest, you want to be watching this video if you didn't already know a lot of the benefits. So let's get into it. First thing you should do is figure out where is your setup going to be. Now, I do realize that a lot of my viewers, maybe they have more constraints to where their setup can be. If you still live with your parents, maybe you only have your bedroom. If you are in a smaller apartment, maybe you only have a closet you can work with. But maybe you were lucky like me, and I started my setup as soon as I moved into a new house, and I had an extra room that I could do this with. But it's more than just choosing your area. There's I don't want to call it a formula, but there are certain factors to be aware of whenever you are choosing your space. These are some of those factors. Are you giving yourself enough space for your equipment, for your monitors, for your consoles, for your PCs? Are you giving yourself enough space to grow? You might see this small space and be like, oh, that's perfect. But guys, I'm telling you right now, building a gaming setup is an addiction, and you just want to do more and more and more. So make sure that you have space to grow. Something else I'd be aware of is, of course, being hardwired to the internet. If you have internet, of course, it's more reliable, it's faster, it's better. So if you're close to an Ethernet port in the wall or you see one, I would honestly go closer to that. I mean, you can buy cords that are long enough, of course, but I would just be aware of that. Another really big one is, will there be a glare on your screen? Do you have a window that's adjacent to the other side where the sun will shine through and hit your screen and add a horrible glare? Of course, you can fix this with a curtain. You can get actually blackout curtains that are awesome for that, but you never know. Just be aware of that. As a gamer, whenever I am more focused and enjoying my gaming sessions, if you do have the option to be anywhere in the house, I mean, this is kind of funny, but in a serious way, do you want to be in a room closer to the bathroom? Do you want to have access to get to it as quick as you can? Because I'll admit, I hold off on it until I really have to go. Same thing with maybe the kitchen, getting a snack. My old house, I debated on, whenever I was just using a couch and TV, okay, do I put my stuff upstairs and play upstairs or downstairs? And honestly, I made the decision of downstairs, even though it was further from my bedroom, because it was closer to the kitchen. I mean, I can go to the kitchen, I can get a drink real quick, I can get my snacks. Of course, I could have gotten a mini fridge for upstairs, but I didn't want to spend the money on that at the time. Look, whenever it comes to choosing your layout, the main thing is make sure you're comfortable. I mean, that's the whole point. You don't want to be shoved in a closet, even though I have seen some really cool closet setups. The main thing is make sure you're comfortable. Make sure it's somewhere that you want to be, somewhere that you can accommodate any type of gaming situation you're in, and just overall a place that you love. Okay, now let's dive into what I believe are the essentials to your gaming setup. First thing, the desk. The desk is absolutely everything. This negates how much stuff you can put on your desk. You need to be aware of how many monitors you want, if you want to throw a TV on there. Like I said before, with giving yourself growth, is your desk going to be big enough for that? Is it going to be a corner desk? Is it just an extra long desk? A larger desk allows for upgrades and allows room for growth. However, you don't need it to be so big that it takes up so much of your space that you're not comfortable. You feel cramped, you can't move around at all. So I would kind of get a happy medium. You need room for growth, but you don't need to be cramped. You know, measure these things. Measure, okay, what is the desk size that I need? Where's it gonna fit best? You know, after looking at the desk and the style of the desk you want, the shape of the desk you want, the next thing you need to look at is the gaming chair. Whew, gaming chairs. Look, this can sometimes be a hot topic because I'll see some gaming chairs that are like $500, $300, and honestly, in my opinion, they don't look that fancy. Yeah, you see some that apparently have great lumbar support, which is very important, especially in my old age of 33. You know, you can get some that have RGBs on it. You get some that even have speakers built in. But if you're like me and you game a lot, you are going to be sitting here a long time, and you should get something comfortable. Being a couch gamer like I was for so long, I played in a recliner, and I was happy with it. But it's not really feasible to push a recliner up to the desk. So what I actually did is I did lots of research, and I actually found an office chair that's like the mix of a recliner and an office chair, and it is super comfy. I'll probably put it on the screen. But you know, sometimes you might be stuck and you might not be able to choose a chair. However, it's still best that you still find one that is the most comfortable it can be. I mean, we're gamers. We're gonna be sitting there for a long time. So we got our desk, we got our chair. Now, next is what I believe is what I call these small essentials. Now, what are these? These are your things like your mouse pad, your mouse itself, your speakers, storage containers, webcams, and mics if you're looking to stream. After I ordered my desk and my chair, these were the first things I got. Whenever it comes to mouse pads, there's so many cool customization options. And later, you know, we're going to talk about personality, but this is one of the first things that you can throw your personality into is the mouse pad. You can get so many that have game pictures on there. You can even get it with family portraits on there or your dog. I actually found a mouse pad that had RGB lights going around it. And my favorite thing about it is that it actually has a built-in cell phone charger. So that is something you can look for. And honestly, it's not that expensive. So while I'm gaming, I can set my cell phone right there and it's charging fine. The storage containers, look guys, I made a video before about keeping your space clean, and storage containers or shelving units. The shelving units, those, I wouldn't really say that those are used for you know, keeping your storage, your extra cords and controllers and stuff. The shelving units are more for, you know, displaying items and things like that. But you want to make sure that you have a place to put your things, that way it's not just laying everywhere. Cable management, another big one, another essential that a lot of people forget about. Also, in a previous video, I mentioned that no matter how clean your space is, they're going to notice two things. One, if there's trash laying around your room, and two is your cable management. No matter how cool your place is, those two things you always need to take care of. So go ahead, and whenever you're looking for your mouse pads, your mice themselves, you get your chair and your desk all ready, your keyboard, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Order some cable management while you're at it, at the same time. You can get some really good packages that come with a lot of cable management. So we got our desk, we got our chair, we're getting some of our smaller essentials. Now, with getting this stuff, honestly, this next thing that I'm about to talk about, you could have done at the very beginning, or you could have waited till you got some of your favorite stuff, but that's the layout. Drawing a layout is honestly one of the best things I ever did. And one of the funnest things I ever did. Before I even ordered a lot of my stuff, I knew, okay, here's my space. This is what I'm working with. Let's draw some layouts. And I had so much fun obsessing over this and trying out lots of different things. That was super fun. Also, after I ordered my stuff, just waiting for the next couple of days, which was horrible. I hate waiting for packages. I would just draw a lot of different things. And to be honest, my original drawing, my original layout, which I'll show right here, actually looks a lot like how I did my first setup. And I was very happy. I was very proud of it. You know, having this layout will also help you hit the ground as soon as your stuff gets here. I'll admit I did pay a friend to put together the desk, to wall mount my TV and everything like that. I know how to do that, but I literally wanted my game room to be ready as soon as I moved into the new house. So I was packing up my house the day I was moving in. My friend was already here putting together my desk and stuff. So if you want to take off running, as soon as you get your stuff, draw that layout, even with a piece of paper or anything like that. So after you have the essentials, this is the fun part to me. This is where you put in your personality, if you have one. Your gaming setup is more than just a collection of hardware. It's an extension of who you are as a gamer. Let's see how you can infuse your personality into your gaming setup to make it feel like an area that's truly yours. There are a few key things whenever it comes to thinking about personalizing your area. Two things is the vibe and the overall theme that you want. Whether you're aiming for a sleek, clean, modern view, or maybe like a woodsy, like greenery type look, or maybe even a blend of styles. Take your time to identify and look around at some different setups and pick and choose from what you like, or heck, I mean, you can maybe even copy one that you like. Just don't take credit for it. Once you choose the vibe and the aesthetic that you want, that's when you can begin to think about, okay, how can I make this space mine? Is it action figures of certain video game characters or TV shows? Is it posters? Is it 3D printed objects? I have a ton of things off of Etsy. Etsy is a great place to find different things. Don't forget, if you want, to include things like photographs of your family or your friends. IRL here, throw in some real life stuff too. Whenever you display these items, think about, I want to put it on shelves? Do you want to put it in glass containers? Do you want to put them directly on your desk? There's a lot of different ways that you can show off this stuff. Whenever I was talking about drawing your layout, I would maybe write a list of different things that you want. For instance, I love DayZ. I love Destiny, I love Mass Effect, I love Halo, I love Gears, I love all these different games. So I got on Etsy and I literally just typed in these game names and saw all the cool different stuff that you can find that people actually make from these games. So I have slowly been ordering those things one at a time to add to my setup. I would strive for things that are both gaming and personal real life stuff. I would also say evolve over time. I slowly add stuff to my setup all the time. I think we do reach that point where it's like, this is it. This is my setup. But I'm telling you right now, you'll always think of ways to improve it or ways to add more of yourself into it. And overall, just have fun with it. Try things. There are so many different things I've tried on my setup and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. And even though I might have spent a pretty penny, I give it to a friend, I sell it. But I find something that I know I want in my space no matter what. Personalizing your gaming setup is just a way to let your personality shine. Through gaming, through real life, through maybe even sides of you that people don't even really know about. Okay, RGB lighting. This deserves its own chapter. I'm honestly not even sure where to start whenever it comes to RGB. And I know that whenever it comes to gamers, it almost seems like there are two sides. You have your anti-RGB people, and then you have your RGB people. And then there's not much of an in-between ground. It's either you have a lot of it or none of it. I guess there is a bit of a middle ground, but I obviously went a lot of it route. When it comes down to it, it's your setup. You choose what you want. But RGBs, and I'm telling you, they change everything about my setup. And they change with my mood. I almost strictly have Govee lights. Govee is a wonderful brand. I think I have 14 different Govee lights in my setup. I have desk lights, I have wall lights, I have glide lights, I have their Govee diffuser, I have their hexagon lights. I love it, and it's so easy, and you can have it go with your music. You can even have it sync with what's on your TV. RGB is where it's at, personally. I absolutely love it. You know, at the end of the day, talking about building your setup, you know, it's more than just about building your battle station. It's more than just about building a place where you can play games. This is about building your space where you can find comfort, your space where you can find exciting moments, your space where you can make new friends. This is your space. It doesn't have to only be for gaming. I will be honest with you right now, my area, I probably only use it to game 30% of the time. The other time, I'm vibing out with music and changing my RGB lights to dark, cool purple or blue and just chilling out, having a drink. I'm watching YouTube. Sometimes when I'm just bored and don't know what to do, I come and I lay on the carpet and just enjoy it. Sometimes I don't even come in here to hang out, but I'll open the door and just like, this is awesome. This is my space. You know, it's just, I wish you luck in building your setup, and I feel a little scattered brain, but honestly, I hope that this has helped you. You know, this is my first setup ever, and I'm passionate about it, and I hope to only update this area even more and include y'all in this journey. But it's an awesome thing to do, and you need to do it. And if you need to start small, start small. If you have the availability to go big, go big. But it's your space. Make it awesome.